thank everybody for coming out tonight on a Thursday night. If you want to get water, any refreshments, we have that in the back of the room for you. This is such an amazing facility here that I'm overwhelmed and impressed with what the high school has here. I know that some of our sheriff department was here early and got a chance to take a look at the gym. I haven't seen the gym yet, but from what they were saying, it is a very impressive gym. So this community certainly has some amazing facilities that it gets to enjoy, our kids get to enjoy, and I for one very appreciative of the opportunity to be here. My name's Ed Pattison. I'm the General Manager for Mountain House Community Services District, completing week number 4. And I'm still here. The building has not burned down yet. And people are trying to light new fires every day, but that's what makes this job interesting. And I know on behalf of our board, we're very thankful that you took time out of your busy schedule to be here tonight to talk about your community, issues of importance to you. And we've invited a number of speakers here tonight to try to educate and inform you on the happenings and what's going on around Mountain House. So we have an agenda. If you don't have one, we'll make sure we get one in your hands. You just put your hand up. I have staff here that will be happy to bring you an agenda. But before we get started, I want to introduce some of our fine dignitaries here. So why don't I start with the Mountain House Community Services District Board. We have our President, Andy Sue. He's our new president. We have Vice President Bernice Tingle. Our former President, Director Steve Gutierrez. And I see Director Jim Lamb over here. And I'm not sure I've seen Director Brian Lucid. Is he here? He's working. Okay, he's working tonight. I'm sure he wanted to be here, but he's going to miss out on this evening. We will have County Board Supervisor Bob Elliott. I know that he has done. Oh, he's there. He snuck in. Thank you. So County Supervisor Bob Elliott's here. I think he's double or triple booked tonight, so we're going to try to make this move quickly so we can hear from Supervisor Elliott. We have Congressman Jerry McNerney's office, Adele Ahmad, I'm sorry. Okay. And with the Lambertville Unified School District, we have Sharon Lampville. And Corden Clements. And I do want to put a shout out to our staff. We have most of our CSD staff here tonight that really make this engine run as efficiently as it can. And without going through all the names, because there's a number of them here, I will mention that I have one go-to guy really, and it's Nader Sharagi, my institutional name. And we have a new business manager, finance director, and her name is Sarah Ragsdale, the heartbeat of the organization. There she is. So thank you for coming out tonight. Just a little about myself. I have about 25 years in serving public agencies and the private sector and managing various cities and utilities throughout Northern California. I enjoy this line of work. It's never dull. It's always exciting. And one thing I realize, I love working with people. I love building relationships. And the simple reality is that we can't survive on our own. This community in itself is a mirror of our diversity, and one of the things that was really exciting about Mountain House was the master plan community that had a grand, bold vision on beautiful land for raising families. And as you drive around Mountain House, it is a model of what other cities are aspiring to look like. And you have it here, and you have a great foundation, and I think that the best is ahead. So you're already starting great, and in the years ahead, it's only going to get better. I know we have a number of concerns and issues, and on behalf of the board, I know that we're going to be partnering to work on developing a strategic plan that is going to be looking at prioritizing the issues of concern of this community and allocating scarce resources in a way that really attempts to meet the needs of this community. We want to hear about that from you tonight, as well as the strategic plan workshop that's next Tuesday. And there probably will be a series of them, but the start of the strategic plan will be next Tuesday in the district's board chambers. We will be looking at a number of other issues. As you know, it looks like we're continuing with the drought. Here in California, we're looking at 70-degree weather in February, while the Northeast is blanketed in snow. I'm not sure which ones was worse, but my thinking is it might be better to be blanketed in snow. That's somewhat of a temporal issue here with this drought in California. If we don't see any precip by this summer, I think we might see some pretty draconian requirements coming out of the state about water supply. So this is one of the issues that our board will be looking at as we move forward through this planning year. And we will be letting the community know, certain changes that may be in place if this drought continues to worsen. So we'll be looking at strategic planning, water issues and diversification, power supply diversification, as well as a host of other issues. So with that, I'm going to conclude my remarks and invite President Andy Sue here. Okay. I think Andy's indicating we're going to redirect to Supervisor Bob Elliott because we know he only has a few minutes. So Supervisor Elliott.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bob Elliott, County Supervisor, District 5, and it's a real pleasure for me to be here tonight. It's always a pleasure to come to Mountain House because so many good things are always happening over here. And I just enjoy coming to hear about what's going on next. Now, I'd like to just give you a little update of some things that have been happening in the county. As you may or may not know, I just finished a year as chairman of the Board of Supervisors for the 2014 term. So there are many things, of course, that were challenges during that year. Many continue on into this year. But there were also some fairly significant accomplishments that we had. First and foremost, our financial affairs are in order for the 2014-15 budget year. For that budget, we were able to achieve a structurally balanced budget for the first time in the past 6 years. So structurally balanced means that the expenses going out did not exceed the projected revenues coming in. In the past, it had to borrow money from here and there to make ends meet. But this year, we have a structurally balanced budget. So I think that it's just important that we manage the taxpayer money, your money, in a financially responsible manner. So I'm proud that we were able to do it while I was chairman. Second, some things that I think are really exciting that are going on in the county have to do with economic development. And of course, that's one of the main things we all look at in terms of improving everyone's quality of life, improving the prosperity of the individuals in the county, the businesses, and what that does then is bring everybody's standard of living up. So we've continued to expand our marketing program, marketing San Joaquin County as an extension of Silicon Valley. We call it the Greater Silicon Valley. The idea being is that we can encourage businesses over there who want to expand to come do it over here, or a new entrepreneur that just wants to get their business jump-started. We're encouraging them to come here and do it. I think that will benefit everyone, and since Mountain House is the first community that you come to when you come over the Altamont from the valley, I think that will pay big dividends for Mountain House. I continue to meet with our Mountain House economic development stakeholders We had another meeting last year, the idea being there to try to encourage commercial and retail development here in the Mountain House area also, to remove whatever obstacles we can and try to encourage that to happen. We of course want the Mountain House to be able to achieve its jobs, housing goals that are written into your master plan. So we want to help you do that every way that we can. Some things that have recently happened, the Amazon Fulfillment Center over in Tracy just had its official grand opening earlier this month. They've been open actually since 2013, but they've been continuing to expand. Now they've completed all that. They had their official grand opening, 1,500 employees over there, so I think that's good news for everybody in the county. Tesla has also announced that they are going to have an advanced manufacturing facility over in Lathrop. More good news. And recently we had groundbreaking for a 1 million square foot facility at Corden Ranch to the west of Tracy. That was done by Prologis. And then recently after that, actually I think that was earlier this month as well, we had a report that FedEx, a Fortune 100 company, plans to set up operations there in that Corden Ranch area. So lots of good things happening. Another thing that I think will be beneficial for the county as a whole are developments at our airport, Stockton Metropolitan Airport. We've had plans to improve the facilities there as well as the service. We've added a service to Phoenix going out of Stockton. We've improved the runway, the passenger facility there. We're in the process right now of reconstructing the apron out in front of the passenger facility so that it can accommodate up to 5 aircraft now rather than the 1 that it previously could. We're also looking at the possibility of getting more carriers to do business there, as well as perhaps provide some international service. So lots of good things there as well. Another exciting development that I think may have some application for Mountain House also is that San Joaquin has officially been designated as an innovation hub for the state of California. So they call it the iHub San Joaquin. The idea there is to promote economic development by focusing on certain clusters of research, such as healthcare research, agribusiness research, construction research, some things that we think will have an application right here in San Joaquin County. And the idea there is, as I said, promote economic development along those regions, along those lines, and also the state of California in promoting these iHubs, thinks that they will also improve California's competitive status nationwide and internationally as well. We've also done some significant work in improving our veterans services. I think we really owe our veterans the best care that we can give them. So we've continued to advocate for the facility that has been projected to be built in French Camp. It's the VA Central Valley Clinic and Community Living Center. We know that the construction documentation will be complete by the end of calendar year 15. So we are pushing to get that included in the 2016 budget so that we can actually get some construction started finally after about a decade or so of working on that project. Some other things that we've done to improve services for our veterans, we have engaged in a contract. We have a contract now with Tri-West, which is a subcontractor for VA, so that they can direct veterans to services to obtain medical services at our San Joaquin General Hospital. And that hopefully will alleviate some of the excessive travel times and wait times that our veterans have to endure right now to get to wherever they have to go to obtain those medical services. And we've also done some things just to improve county services to our veterans. For one thing, our county employees who happen to be reservists at sometimes have been disadvantaged financially when they get called to active duty, because unfortunately military pay isn't as high as pay in other sectors. But we now have a permanent policy that was put into place last year. I had asked the county administrator to let's bring a policy that we can make a permanent plan so that we will make our reservists whole whenever they get called to active duty for periods of 130 days. So we now have that plan. And I think that's a great thing for our county employees who happen to also be reservists. One last to say that I'm particularly proud of is our efforts to improve openness and transparency in government at the county level. One thing we've done is incorporate an application into our county website. You can find it right there on the front page of our county website. It's called OpenGov. So if you go into that website, then with the click of a button, basically, you can track the county finances and see where your tax dollars go. So I think things like that just make it easier for people to know what their government is doing. Another thing we did was initiate a Take Government to School Day by having one of our board meetings, our Board of Supervisors meetings, at Kimball High School here in South County. So that gave not only a chance for the kids to come and see what happens at local government, give them some insight, but it also gave some of the South County residents who might not have gone all the way over to Stockton to attend the meeting, gave them a chance to attend the meeting in a more convenient place. So those are just some of a few of the things that I think have been significant over the past year. Just want to let you know that our county government is continuing to work for you. We want to do the best we can to make everyone's lives better. Now, unfortunately, I'm sure everyone's aware, as your new general manager just mentioned, that we are still in a drought. Even though we had some nice December storms, and that caused an uptick in the level of fill of some of our reservoirs, still as of early January 9th, 32% of California was still classified as being in exceptional drought. So that's the highest, most severe level of drought. So we're going to need a lot of rain and snow over this rainy season in order to get us out of that drought condition. So meanwhile, it's going to be necessary for everyone to continue their conservation efforts. The governor's goal is that everyone should voluntarily reduce their water consumption by 20% over last year. And I'm proud to say that Mountain House is exceeding that goal. What do I have here? I see that Mountain House reported a 32.5% reduction in water usage from November 2013 to November 2014. So I think that's a great So thank you for those continuing efforts to get us through this drought. If you're looking for more ways to conserve, our University of California Cooperative Extension has a Master Gardener program, and they're also available on the county website. You can find them under county departments. They do such things as give ideas, try to help people on ways to convert to a drought-tolerant landscape if you're interested in doing something like that. So you can get some helpful tips there. And lastly, I know you've been waiting for that word. Lastly, I'd like to congratulate the residents of Mountain House for just their exceptional involvement and participation in all of these community workshops that have been going on over the past many months to try to shape what your town center will look like. I understand that SHAE and LDC or LCD advisors have been really working hard on those plans, and hopefully we'll have some more announcements on that soon. But anyway, thank you again for inviting me to come tonight and speak. As I said, I always enjoy these opportunities to come to Mountain House. And if there's anything that I can do from the county perspective, to be of any assistance, please don't hesitate to call. Either me or my assistant, Scott Terrell, who, by the way, is still at the other community meeting that I just left to come here. So at any rate, thank you very much. Enjoyed talking with you tonight.
Hello everyone. Thank you again for coming to the first community meeting of 2015. My name is David Sue. I'm the board president for 2015. I'm not going to give a very long state of the district. It's only about 26 pages, so bear with me. Just kidding. No, most of you guys who know me know I'm an emergency doctor at Southern Tracy, so I'm into brief. So, Mountain House is a beautiful town, and I'm sure most of you love this town as much as I do. I want to take this opportunity to remind all of you that your board of directors, Director Lamb, Director Gutierrez, Director Kingo, and I, and Director Lucid, are your elected representatives. And our job is to listen to you, create good policies, and make good decisions to help this community be the best place that it can be. If you'd like to contact any of us, our government emails are on the MHCSD website. And I think a couple of years ago we changed it to MHCSD.com, but that's easy to remember. I would also like to take this opportunity to welcome our new general manager, Ed Patterson, who started earlier this month. We're very, very excited to have him here to guide us into the next decade. Finally, I want to let you know that our recreational and communications coordinator, Angel Lamb, who I think is out sick today, but she has put together an excellent calendar full of classes and events this year, so I hope that most of you will come and join us this year. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting our office to this meeting. I'll probably keep it really short. I know I'm allotted 10 minutes, but it's probably only going to take 5. Basically, what I'm here to do is provide information on some of the services that Congressional Office provides. Sometimes people are a little bit confused on where to go when they need help with a particular issue. For our office, for example, any federal agency we could definitely assist you with. For example, the Veterans Administration. I know a lot of people nationwide have usually trouble with their VA case or any kind of pre-existing issue with the VA. If they don't know where to go, they can most definitely contact our office. We have a full-time dedicated caseworker that has congressional liaisons with the Veterans Administration to help them out if they need assistance. We also help people out with Medicare assistance and Social Security issues. Once again, we have congressional liaisons within these agencies. If people are having trouble or they're just stuck in between a rock and a hard place, they could call us and we can maybe help clear up some issues. Besides that, we could also get military service records and medals if somebody's having trouble with the National Archives, having a hard time getting any of the past paperwork. We could definitely contact them on your behalf and go ahead and get them to you. Normally with all these, we only ask for one piece of paper. It's a privacy authorization form. It just allows our office to inquire on your behalf. Going on, if you have any issues with passports, for example, if you wait until the last minute and you haven't renewed your passport, we could possibly help you out within 2 days of your trip. So you can definitely contact our office. We can set up an emergency meeting. You just need your appropriate documents and probably go to the nearest office, which I believe is in San Francisco. Beyond that, if there's any agencies or organizations that are applying for federal grants, you can definitely write a request to the congressman to get a letter of support. We'll send that directly to the corresponding agency that's given out the grant and help you support a little bit of your case to receive that money. And we also do flag requests, which means if a particular person or family member needs a flag, a United States flag for whatever purpose of service, we could actually get flags specifically flown for you over the Capitol. They'll have a certificate with their name on it. The only thing you have to pay for is the shipping and the actual cost of the flag. That's available on our website. What I have here is our constituent service guide. We have a bunch of those in the back. Please do grab one. All website, our phone numbers, all the information is on there. We have a district office in Stockton, California. We have one in Antioch, so I think the quicker way to get to our office would probably be just to Stockton. And also, we do tours in Washington, D.C. You can contact your member of Congress through our website. If you're making a trip to D.C., you can get free tours. Just log online, put in the dates that you're going and where you want to go visit, and they should be able to help you out. Our website's really pretty good, interactive. If you have any questions about legislation that the congressman voted on, they'll have an updated roll call on how we voted on a particular issue. He does like reading letters, comments directly on his flights back and forth from DC. So if you have any comments, if you have any questions or comments, you could most definitely write that into our office via email or just a regular mail, and we could get that over to him. I'll be around by the cookies. If you have any questions for about another half an hour, and just let me know if there's anything I can do to help you out. I'm the local field representative at our Stockton office, so I kind of cover Lodi, Lathrop, Stockton itself. I want to try to make out to Mountain House a little bit more, so if you have any events or meetings you want to invite our office to, please let me know. I'll give you my card, I'll have my email on there, and I'll certainly do my best to come out here. Thank you.
Melissa. I'm here to talk about Mountain House Friends of the Library. We're an organization that supports the library through book sales and membership. Our mission is to supplement the public funding and enhance the services and programs at the Mountain House Library. Some of the things that we recently funded have been the science program, puppeteers, multicultural music and dance, as well as others. We also accept donations of library materials, books, DVDs, magazines, and other materials. We recently had an I Love the Library contest, and several people from Mountain House came and gave us works of art, and we're going to have those works of art displayed all through February. So we try to do a lot to promote the arts and literacy and make Mountain House part of the wonderful place that it is. You can find more information about giving monetary donations and becoming a member and getting involved on our website. You can Google Mountain House Friends of the Library. And we try to do a lot in the community. So thank you so much, and thank you for the people who have generously donated to our programs. We still have programs that are available to be sponsored. Marie Mitchell of the CSD did one, and so did Tiny Tots Daycare. So very proud to be involved with this, and looking forward to continuing to support our community. So thank you so much for your time. Oh, and we have a book sale on 28.
Well, I really appreciate the last presentation. For one, I can't sleep unless I got a lot of books around me, and the library is very important to the community. I appreciate everything you guys are doing. One of the most frequent questions I get is, what about the town center and what happened, and did it go into the ether? So, I have Mr. Sargent here that hopefully will share a little information about that tonight.
Great. Thank you. I'm Dave Sargent. I work for Shea Homes, and I'm here representing Mountain House Developers LLC. So, just curious, anybody here live in Hanson? No, we got some people live in Hanson, just weren't if they're showing up at meetings yet. And then the second question is, did any of you guys come to any of the town center meetings we had over the last? Okay, good. All right. So the good news is, I'm happy to share we've made progress with the major grocery store that wants to locate here in the town center. I'm not going to say which one yet because it's not signed, but it's a major grocery store, and you guys will, I'm sure, be happy when you hear what it is. So since the last town center workshop we held in the community last May, we've been working with the Mountain House Community Services District, the county, and that major grocery store to finalize the town center plan. And as some of you know, our planning process began with the community workshops held in late 2013 that were pivotal in developing the viable town center plan that answers some of today's realities and your hopes for Mountain House's potential. And so thanks to you guys for participating in the meeting to make it happen, and your willingness to help. So what's no news to anyone is that this process has taken longer than expected. That's why it's so good to be able to share with you tonight that we are close to a final commitment with a major grocery store. We're working on a letter of intent with them, and we're hoping that that'll resolve itself in the next month. And we're going to be making an application to the county, official application to the county for our plan in March. So we're very close. So when we submit the application, we will share the plan along with all the details. We should be sending something to everybody in the mail. And our goal right now is to have everything final and ready to submit to the county before the end of March. We're going to need the community's help too. This has got to go through a process with the county. It's got to get through the planning commission and eventually the board of supervisors. So we're hoping we can get support from the county to come to the meetings and help support the plan and the grocery store. So thank you for your patience, and we're counting on your support to make this happen. And then everyone always wants to know when. That's really what they care. So I probably should have said that up front. So the way it looks right now, we've probably got another 6 months to work through the process with the county, and then we'll get right, when we get our plan approved, we'll go right to improvement plans, and that's another 12 months. So I know people hate hearing 18 months, 2 years. It seems like it's always that far away. But so we're looking at hopefully breaking ground as soon as midsummer 2016. So we're getting closer. So that's the story with the Safeway, and just so some of you know, it's going to go Did I say Safeway? I didn't say Safeway.
No.
So, and then I've got a couple more slides just to talk about the rest of the meeting. So this is a slide I've shown in some of the previous meetings. So this has got the year-by-year sales, and you can see where we are, what we did in 2014. So we were over 300, so we're making progress. And next year we're projecting a little bit lower, and that's more about what's available in the communities. We're transitioning from the Queston neighborhood to the Hanson. There's just not as many model homes going, but and then 2016 should pick up again. So you can see it's been real strong and steady the last few years. That's great. And then we've got just a picture of neighborhood C, which is just across the street. You can see the first phase, all the lots ready to go. That picture was taken probably 6 to 8 months ago. And what else do we have? And then all these lots are spoken for. These have all been sold to all these builders. I don't know if you guys have been down there to see the models, but you can see neighborhood C is really filling out. I mean, all those are owned by builders, and they've got lots going. We just recently sold additional lots to Tri Point Homes, and Woodside picked up some more homes there. And Standard Pacific, they're already building up in the Queston neighborhood. They've bought some lots down here, and they're going to be working on the ones that get the label there. That's Standard Pacific's going to be where the red is. And I think there's one more. This shows the progress in neighborhood C. So there's 1,000 lots in neighborhood C, and according to the county, there's been 91 permits issued. So really getting going strong there. So that's it. And if anybody has any more questions, I'll be here at the meeting just in the back. Thank you very much.
Evening. I'm Lieutenant Phil George with Mountain House. I'd like to introduce Sheriff Moore, who wants to say a few words from him to you, and then we'll go over the crime stats after that. Sir.
Well, good evening, everyone. A couple things I want to talk about tonight. First of all, for the first time in many, many years, we're almost close to being totally full on our allocations for deputy sheriffs. So that's a good thing. The bad news for that is, by March of this year, end of March, we'll be down 26 deputy sheriffs due to retirement. So we have already sought approval from the CAO's office to be able to hire 50% of those people ahead of time, and we have already got a contingent being sent out to the academy in Contra Costa County, and we are already now having open session recruitment for academy certifieds. So if anybody is looking for employment, send them my way. We're looking for deputy sheriffs, correctional officers, and civilian staff as we move forward. So that'll always be a positive. On top of that, we are currently in the, hopefully, last part of the options to put a school resource deputy here on this campus. We've already made contact with the school district. The district's board has reviewed it and has been very positive on it. We recently just forwarded a boilerplate MOU for their consideration. So as soon as we can get that worked out, we will be assigning an additional deputy sheriff specifically to the high school, and that will be in addition to the staff you already have. So that'll be a very positive effect for us here, so we're very happy with that. I'll turn it back over to Lieutenant George to be able to go over the stats along with our new sergeant, and I'll be available for questions at any time. Thank you.
Sergeant Joe Petrino, recently promoted, has taken over the duties of supervisor for the Mountain House deputies that patrol your streets, and he's going to introduce himself and talk about the crime stats, what's going on in Mountain House, and where we're going forward as far as fighting those issues. Yep.
Good evening. As Lieutenant said, Joe Petrino. I'm a newly promoted sergeant. I was given the Unity Car program. Under that program, of course, one of my responsibilities is the 6 deputies assigned here at the Mountain House. Been with the department about 6 years and a few different assignments, and I get the pleasure of coming out here with you folks and being in charge of the deputies that are responsible to patrol the areas in which you guys reside. And yes, of course, part of my job is making sure they're doing their job, and sometimes if there's any specific issues, Somebody asked me for my card earlier, they're getting made, but I'll get those out. But I want to hear about those issues, and it's my job to get the resources necessary for the deputies to do their job and give you guys what you need in terms of services out here in Mountain House, okay? So don't forget that, always call me if there's any issues. And again, if you need my number, I don't have a card, but I'm more than happy to give it to you after the session tonight. I want to go over a few stats. Did everybody get the handout? If you didn't get them or you missed them, they're right over on the table there. I'm going to hit some highlights, and then if there's any specific questions, pop a hand, feel free to ask them. And of course, if there's anything specific individually, I'll be more than happy to address those afterwards if you would like. So we'll start right on the first page. The first thing I want to let you guys know is this information is available on our website. It's sjgov.org/sheriff/, and then you just go to community policing. Under that, you'll see crime stats. And then you just click the various communities in the drop-down menu, you click Mountain House, and then you guys can see this exact information on there. It's typically about a month behind because our crime analysis personnel are still collecting the data for the upcoming period. So the first page, you see a few dots here in your neighborhoods. Single incidents are blue, and then the multiple incidents are red. If you look down at the bottom of the point legend, there's kind of a different blue color for selected incidents. You don't see any of those because that's actually a tool the crime analysis people can do to engage the graph, which is simply not used in the depiction you're seeing here. On the second page, if you guys want to turn the page there, go over some of these statistics. There's different levels and reasons that we collect this criteria. Of course, part of the reason, one of the primary reasons is for us to know what's going on. So when they present this data to us, we can look and see if there's any trends occurring. And again, my job is with the lieutenant and the rest of my chain of command to address those trends and get the resources necessary to do what we need to do to hopefully solve the problems and take care of the issues that are brought to us. But a couple specific things I want to talk about. Auto burglaries, you see 18 there. And then to the right, looking at the left-hand side here is the significant calls for the sheriff's office, and then the cases in terms of reports taken. So these are the calls we got, and then these are out of those numbers, the amount of reports we actually took. So auto burglaries, and down below that, suspicious persons. Okay, those are great. You'll see the 320 number indicated there for the fiscal year to date, and then for December of 14, you'll see 46. Okay, that means you guys are calling, and we can't respond to the suspicious guy or gal or whatever's going on if we don't get the call, or our deputy's not in the area, doesn't see that individual themselves, and conducts a self-initiated contact. So call us, always please call us. That helps us, if nothing, increase presence and certainly address the issues that you guys see and try to figure out what's going on and do what we need to do. Okay? So, and then on the right, as I said, that's the number of reports taken for the incidents. So, you see a couple of miscellaneous, like you see a lot of people's eyes go straight to the shots fired. That doesn't necessarily mean that's an actual firearm. It's fire could be a car backfiring or fireworks and things of that nature. Anybody have any specifics or anything, any questions? I'll just move along here. Next page here is officer-initiated services. You see some different categories. So these would be what we sometimes like to call proactive. Okay, sometimes, a lot of times, we're reactive as law enforcement, unfortunately. These would be the proactive things. You'll see a few different categories. Abandoned vehicles, area checks, arrests, field contacts. So that would be one of my deputies contacting someone in the field. Parking violations, traffic citations, traffic stops, traffic ordinance. The ordinance one means basically they came in contact with the vehicle for whatever reason and they did not issue a citation or a parking site or whatever the case was. Just because you get pulled over doesn't mean we're going to issue a citation. Okay, a lot of times, presence says a lot, does a lot. We like to, give people warnings, okay, but it doesn't mean everybody's going to get off without a ticket, okay? But we like to be out there, be proactive, and try to be in those areas that are the stop sign. Everybody says, everybody runs that stop sign. Why don't you something about that. Well, maybe we need to sit there and figure out what's going on. So that's those numbers there in terms of proactivity. If you guys move along, you'll see some different graphic data. The next page there is calls for service month comparison, and you can see it's for the 13-14 as well as the 14-15 in terms of comparison. Okay, so the 14-15 is the ones that are kind of greenish color towards the bottom there, and you can look at the comparison between the two fiscal years, and it looks like the 14-15, the numbers are down thus far. So we go to January, obviously, because we haven't compiled December, because we haven't compiled the January statistics yet. And the next page, you'll see a two-year comparison with categories for types of crime and calls for service regarding those crimes. And that's going to be your 12-13 and your 13-14. The earlier being blue and the 13-14 being red. So you can kind of look at where those are. Again, the suspicious persons, you'll see that high. That's great. We need those calls for service. The disturbing the peace, you'll typically see as high. Can't get along with the neighbor, there's an argument. Those things are going to happen due to human nature, so there's always going to be somewhat of a high call, a high level for simple disturbances in terms of neighborly disputes, family disputes, etc. But we always want to keep, again, if you can tell, running theme here, the suspicious persons in terms of you guys generating calls for us to come out. And that's it for the statistical breakdown. Any questions? No? All right, thank you very much. Very nice to be here, and I look forward to serving.
So thank you for that presentation. We really appreciate everyone putting their lives on the line to come out and protect the community, and I think it's very highly appreciated. I did want to point out, it seems this community knows their number because you're getting the calls in, but just in case for those that don't know, well, the slide was there with the number. It's 468-4796 or 4400 for non-emergency. So please make note. And so that concludes our program tonight. We are here for question and answer. At this point, unless anyone has any real burning formal questions, I'm going to say thank you for coming out tonight. We're going to stay and enjoy some refreshments, so we encourage you to share time with us. And if you have any informal questions, we'll be happy to share.